At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge.
So Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
For the 3 people on planet Earth who don't know anything about Star Wars, let me give you a little history lesson. The original Star Wars movie was released in 1977 and directed by George Lucas. It was of course a smash hit, and followed by 2 sequels, The Empire Strikes Back in 1980 and Return of the Jedi in 1983. These films acted as movies 4, 5 and 6 in an at the time 6-part story. It took Lucas another 16 years to believe that CGI technology was advanced enough to create Episode 1 the way he intended it to be seen. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, was released on May the 19th, 1999 in the USA and was a massive box office hit. The movie, of course, has a less than favourable legacy with audiences now, who mostly didn't think it lived up to the magic of the original trilogy.
Now I don't care what anyone says, this movie's pretty good. And don't you pretend you don't agree with me. No one in 1999 under the age of 8 cared what midichlorians were.
I didn't know anyone in 1999 who was sat on the playground all like, hey, do you want to trade Pokemon cards, and what did you think of how Lucas ruined the mythos of the Force by introducing a biological...
No! They just cared what colour lightsaber they would have, how cool Darth Maul was, and the game that was coming out.
The thing that seems to have been lost to time with this movie's history is the super intense marketing campaign all through 1999. There were Jar Jar Binks seats, book tie-ins, comic tie-ins, sticker albums, sweets, you name it. Issue 46 of the UK official PlayStation magazine even had a full cover special to hype up the release of the PS1 game. If we delve into this magazine, it's like opening a time capsule. It was released in June to a UK audience 1 month after the film was released in the States. Now, because the UK got the movie even later on the 16th of July, pretty much everyone who read this knew what was coming when they later saw the movie, so in spite of knowing that it was an awful story, we all went to see it in our droves. Let's have a quick look at the playable characters. We've got Obi-Wan Kenobi, who looks like Piers Morgan, Qui-Gon Jinn, Captain Holby City Panicker, and look, Queen Amidala, which it says here is played by PlayStation Magazine's favourite jailbait, Natalie Portman.
Okay, that's enough 90s journalism for one day. On with the game.
After the obligatory opening crawl, you're started right in the conference area of the Trade Federation ship with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. You'll immediately notice how ugly the graphics are, and how pants the voice actors are, of course.
What is your plan, Qui-Gon?
Viceroy is a coward.
What is that gas coming out of the floor?
As you progress through the ship, you're attacked by various battle droids, and will notice very quickly that the camera is the worst thing ever. This is like a horrible mix between top-down gameplay and third person. I mean, what would this be like in real life?
I'm a Jedi!
As you move through the ship, you'll notice that Qui-Gon is really impatient.
Find a way to open this door, and hurry! The door is open, let's go. Door is open, let's go.
Yeah, alright mate, I'm doing all the work here. Eventually you get split up from Qui-Gon and end up in this weird underground vent shaft type place. I bet Obi-Wan is a massive fan of this. After escaping aboard a troop transport, you arrive in Naboo swamps and are introduced to Jar Jar Binks, who I never really hated in the movie, but my god, here he is a swine.
You should come up here. I wait here till you find a way up. This way. You should got to be over here.
The platforming here is also dreadful, which isn't helped by the aforementioned camera angle, as it's impossible to see where you need to go. There's also this awkward bit here where you climb on this rope and can't turn your head to see where you're going either, and it's just... ugh! When I reached the end and met Qui-Gon, my game did this weird glitching thing. What's that? Jar Jar is dead? Good! After travelling to the Gungan city, which looks like your nan's front room, which hasn't been redecorated since 1974, Jar Jar takes you to meet Boss Nass, so Qui-Gon can convince the Gungans to help defend the people on the surface who are being attacked by the Trade Federation. They also want to execute Jar Jar, so Qui-Gon sends Obi-Wan to find him and warns him not to be such a xenophobe.
And Obi-Wan, do not hurt these Gungans. I sense that you look down upon them.
But that's not how I do things, Qui-Gon! After leaving the city with Jar Jar, you travel to Theed to try and rescue Queen Amidala from the Federation's clutches. My first thoughts upon arriving here, though, is to let them have her. I mean, my god, taking a rocket to the face was not in the job description, nor was more stupid platforming or swimming. I also don't remember any of this from the movie. After travelling through this hellhole, you eventually get separated from Qui-Gon again, and have to escort the Queen to the hangar so everyone can escape in her ship.
Take the Queen and find another route. We'll meet at the hangar.
Who decided escort missions were a good thing anyway? They're like a cruel joke. Hey, we know you like loading screens. How about you play one?
During this mission, you come across this mother who's missing her son and wants you to go and find him as she's worried the battle droids will kill him.
Save my son. We were out for a walk when the battle droids attacked.
Okay, sounds good. Anything to get me away from this nonsense. Here, I found him. Now to go and collect my reward. You eventually get the Queen away from Naboo, and because of damage done to your hyperdrive, you have to stop for repairs on Tatooine.
Here's where gameplay shifts to Qui-Gon's perspective because Obi wants a nap.
For some reason, Qui-Gon takes Jar Jar, a creature who's clearly an amphibian, into a desert, with Padme, the Queen's handmaiden, who obviously isn't the Queen in disguise. After going full Liam Neeson on about 400 Tusken Raiders, you arrive in Mos Espa to try and find a hyperdrive to fix your ship. Once getting to Mos Espa, you can speak to this man, who calls you a Jedi.
What makes you think I'm a Jedi?
The Force is strong with you. I can feel it.
Also, you have a big f***ing green lightsaber. This guy wants you to try and rescue his son from some dude called Neg.
I will speak with this Captain Neg.
Okay, it's time to put your epic reasoning skills to the test to rescue him.
It's your business.
I would like to speak with Captain Neg.
Captain Neg does not wish to see you.
I have little tolerance for Model DX5 security doors.
You are incorrect. I am a Model DZ5.
Sorry. Qui-Gon can also use these little bits of pink text to perform Jedi mind tricks. He can perform one on this blue alien, who takes him to see Jabba the Hutt, who for some reason imprisons him and makes him fight a monster.
I will find you. And I will kill you.
After Anakin Skywalker wins the pod race and gets the hyperdrive part, it's time for Qui-Gon to leave with everyone. It's at this point, though, that Qui-Gon realises he's got nothing to lose and turns to the dark side.
This level is called Encounter in the Desert because it's where you encounter Darth Maul. In the desert. Now, Darth Maul is the coolest thing about Star Wars. I even have this CD wallet from 1999 still. Ooh, here he comes.
Of course, because I decided to go on a murderous rampage, the reveal of Maul is ruined by this security guard dude who's trying to kill me. Look at him and Maul fighting, how cute! After Qui-Gon runs away from Maul like a little boy, the gang heads to Coruscant to plead the Queen's case and save her people from the Federation. Here you take charge of Captain Paniker, who has this thing about selling his electro binoculars, whatever they are.
How about trading for some electro binoculars? Would you be interested in buying my electro binoculars? I'm trying to sell these electro binoculars.
I'm really not keen on this level, because it really can't decide whether it's an escort mission or a fetch quest style thing where you have to trade your electro binoculars to get a passage through the city. Escaping Thebe was just annoying. At least it wasn't boring as well.
After escorting the Queen through to the Senate, instead of having to sit through all the politics, you're welcomed by this crawl here.
This leads us on to the final levels attacking Thede, where you alternate between playing as Padme retaking the palace and Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul with Qui-Gon. This is of course just like in the film, which is a nice touch, but creates the same issue I had with the last level, as the pacing gets wrecked and the battle with Darth Maul's platforming I've just had enough of.
To be fair to the game, it did try and match the movie as much as possible, but the graphics were meh, the voice acting was awful, and the gameplay couldn't really decide what it wanted to be. It probably should have stuck with one style. But the important question is, did I like it? No, see you later.